this video, we're going to be using the Spearhead Shaving Company Experimental Tweed Soap and the RazoRock Switch, which is, as far as I know, the first convertible Shavettes / DE razor. Stay tuned. Hey there, folks, and welcome back for another video. And if it's your first time here, welcome aboard. I hope you'll consider subscribing below. So, as mentioned before, today we're going to be using the Spearhead Shaving Company Experimental Tweed Soap. This is the Irish tweed type fragrance that's similar to Creed Green Irish Tweed. Beautiful scent strength slightly under medium for me, about 4.5 I would call it. Now these soaps are labeled as experimental, and so they just tend to pop up on Spearhead's website. I paid $9.99 for this one, which is an exceptional $2.49 per ounce on our price scale. These soaps just pop up from time to time. I just bought one last week that was $6.99. I don't expect that Spearhead will maintain these crazy low prices forever. So keep an eye on that website and grab stuff as you see it. I don't think this one is available now, but I did see there was a bergamot sandalwood up there. So keep an eye on Spearhead. I've used this brand once before and I found the quality to be quite good indeed. And we'll talk more about it as the shave goes on. So today we're using a Shavettes / DE. And the reason is because this unscrews and then you can screw it down here and you can use it as a DE or a Shavette. So I'm going to load a feather blade in it today. Let's take the top cap off if I can get the top cap off. Well, in order to get the top cap off, you got to loosen that thumb screw and not lose it, hopefully, like I almost just did. And feather blade today. We'll drop it in the razor. There's some nice posts there. And I like a little bit of tab to hold on to that blade myself, but that's just me. You may not. I don't mind overhang, but when you're sometimes when you're loading these blades, it's nice to be able to get a hold of it. I don't think these extend much once you put the razor back together. No, not much. If any, you can see there, not much overhang at all. But while you're loading it, you can hold the blade in, and I think that's the purpose of those tabs to begin with, and it has never bothered me about a razor. And we'll screw it back down and put it in the Shavette orientation, and maybe we'll do the first two passes in Shavette orientation, and then we'll do the remaining pass in DE orientation, just for the heck of it. So let's get to misting here with our Glen Helly mister. We are slightly under 24 hours growth today, but you can see we'll be removing some whiskers. All right. Let's use this is the PAA pre-shave cube. Lots of talk about pre-shaves going on right now, which is a healthy discussion. I think everybody has their own views on it. My suggestion, use it if you like it. Don't use it if you don't. It's really no big deal. These glycerin-based pre-shave cubes are not very expensive. And at worst, they boost your lather, and that's actually not a bad thing. So for me, it's not a big deal whatsoever. Okay, the ingredients in this Spearhead Shaving Company soap, we have, what do we have? We have some great ingredients: shea butter, lanolin, jojoba. Let me put the ingredients there for you so you can look at it while I begin to lather. We're using the RazoRock Beehive, which I think I'm going to send to Ken Klitschko, Shave 326, because he really loves Beehive style handles, and I don't. And so maybe we'll use this and clean it up and send it to him when I have time. Because, you know, the color one is not for me, and I don't really care for the Beehive handle style. It just doesn't appeal to me aesthetically. And you're going to have that, like, different things appeal to different people aesthetically. And so there's certain styles of brush making that I just don't care for, you know. For me, big, wonky, roundy brushes are just not my kind of thing. Like when I see custom brush makers, Turn and Shave, That Darn Rob, Wolf Whiskers, Nathan Clark. Also, I think brush makers that have many different styles. In other words, that can do different sorts of those type are more appealing to me. But these type of bigger, roundy, sort of handles just aren't my preference, but many people really enjoy them. So, you know, use whatever you enjoy. That's always my advice. Okay, so let's get going with our RazoRock switch here. And it's been a while since we've used this, so let's see how we do. And I don't expect that it will be difficult, given that we've been using straight razors and the feather Artist Club type razor. One thing I will say about this razor is the guy from RazoRock, who makes the RazoRock razor, he found an older video I made on this, and he's just pretty aggressive about plugging the RazoRock and saying this is a copy. I guess you might be able to say this is, you know, might have been in some way inspired by the RazoRock, but I'm sure the RazoRock was probably inspired by something else as well. Anyway, he's pretty aggressive about, you know, essentially calling it a cheap imitation. But this razor is different in that it also can be used in double-edged razor orientation. It's pretty mild. You have to find the right angle. I'd say that's the only drawback, is it only cuts at a certain angle. But it does cut, and I think that if you're brand new, never used a Shavette or something, that this might give you some muscle memory, you know, perhaps. It feels very safe to use, but it only cuts at that just perfect angle. So that's the only, for me, the only drawback. It just, you got to get it to that proper angle before it will really cut. And finding that can be a little bit tricky. I'm not even stretching. But as you can see, it feels pretty safe to use. You don't really have to, in my opinion, this gives you a little more leeway than like a Feather Artist Club Shavette. A couple of things I want to mention. Marion the Barbarian did his first ever head shave with a straight razor. Let me start rolling some photos while I'm talking about it. Anyway, Marion the Barbarian, now known as Heisenberg, and you'll see why in a minute, did his first ever head shave with a straight razor in the Lather and Blade face group yesterday, live. And that shave is still in there. If you want to see it, join the group. That content is exclusive to the group. And there's been a lot of fun stuff going on in Lather and Blade. And he just picked up that straight razor and he nailed it. I mean, he didn't even cut himself. It was amazing. And honestly, I kind of like the Heisenberg look on on Marion. I thought it was pretty cool. So if you want to enjoy that, come on in and join us. Great job, Marion. And thanks for doing it in LMB. I also have, finally, we did our, on Friday, we did our interview with Leaf, Adam of Leaf, one of the co-founders. And the giveaway for the Leaf was announced in that video. It is recorded. I'm editing now. It will be up on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. So if you're interested in learning about the Leaf or hearing from their company, please watch that video. I think you'll enjoy it. It's about, you know, maybe slightly over 30 minutes. Good conversation. Leaf also talks about some of the things they got coming up. Talk about, you know, the inspiration for the design, and overall a good conversation. So check that out. I wanted to touch on another thing too. The other day I made a sort of an announcement about putting artisan and vendors on notice. I just want to explain that a little bit. I'm not talking about getting involved in every single customer dispute or, you know, just creating a ruckus. I'm talking about if you're an artisan or a vendor and you're out there publicly running down customers, publicly targeting customers, publicly running down other artisans. We're going to talk about it on Real Talk, and I will talk about it on my channel. And I will most likely choose not to purchase or use those products on my channel. That is a personal decision. I'm not condemning anyone else who doesn't do that. Look, it's easier not to do it, quite frankly. When I came back, I said, I'm not going to consider any of that, and it's quite easy. But I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, you know, I owe it to you viewers not to send you to people who are going to abuse you or be bad stewards of the community. As I see it, would I send my sister there? Would I send my brother there to someone who might treat them poorly? No, I wouldn't. And so why would I not respect my viewers? That's the way I see it. I know some people will not agree, and that is entirely okay. But from my perspective, I think I have an obligation to use the type of products that, you know, I love. But I don't want to be showing products where that artisan is abusing customers or their artisans. I mean, to me, that's the line. Now, that doesn't mean they have to be perfect. They're going to make mistakes. Everybody does. And I think second chances and forgiveness is very important. But if it's, you know, bad conduct, it's quite obvious that their intent is running down products, other products. I think as a community, generally, we don't care for that. They have every right to do it, and we have every right to speak on it and go, hey, I'm making the decision not to use it. You can decide yourself. But I don't want to put in front of you folks who are operating that way. I just don't want to do it. And so it's been something that I've struggled with since coming back. But quite frankly, it's a lot easier just to use the products. But honestly, I don't feel good when I'm using products, and I know that perhaps that artisan or vendor, you know, might be trashing people, trashing customers, targeting. That just doesn't sit right with me. And so I apologize if you don't like it, but it's just what I have to do to, you know, it's just what makes me feel better. And it's quite easy, as I said, just to use the products and leave it there. But if it's known and documented, we will mention it. And then I'm not asking you not to buy from them, but use that information and take it into consideration if you want. If you don't, no big deal. It's not about creating a ruckus. It's just about letting people know, here, hey, here's what's going on. You make up your mind. It's up to you. A lot of people have made mistakes, myself included, and we've all needed forgiveness, myself included. And so I also feel strongly about that. So, you know, if someone's behaving badly and not being a good steward of the community, we'll continue to monitor. And if they turn it around, we'll tell you about that too, you know, because I do believe in redemption. So I hope that makes more sense. And we'll talk a lot more about it on Real Talk coming up this week, Friday, or actually next week, because today is Sunday. But, well, Sunday's the start of a new week. So we will definitely be discussing it on Real Talk. That said, I'm not looking to be the shaving police. So, you know, if we see it, we'll bring it up, but I'm not looking for it, you know. Okay, there was our 2 passes in Shavette orientation. Felt good, very mild, really no problem at all with the shave, but it is, you just have to find that right angle with this razor. And so I'm unscrewing the bottom. We will put it in DE orientation. We will put our cap on the side here just to make sure we don't lose it. And now we're ready to go in DE style. And so we'll lather up for another DE pass. The razor ring could not do that. Now, some people, you know, obviously will feel that's gimmicky, and it probably is. But, you know, I just thought it was a cool thing, and I thought I would try it because I really haven't seen very many people use it. And I think it's like $39.99 at Italian Barber, still available. So if you're interested, maybe, you know, building some muscle memory for a more aggressive type shavette, it might be something to consider. Completely up to you. Again, I'm not asking you to buy these products. It's always your choice. I'm putting the information in front of you for you to consider, and I'm trying to give you the best information that I can and the most complete information that I can, which is why I'm not going to ignore the rest of it, you know. I'm not going to stick my head in the sand and watch people be mistreated and use these products on here in front of you, and maybe you make a purchasing decision not knowing, because a lot of you care about these sort of things. Like, you wouldn't mistreat your neighbor, would you? Would you send your neighbor down to the repair shop where they rip people off or trash talk customers, or no, you wouldn't. So I'm not going to do it either. I have more respect for you, my viewers. And so, if you don't like that information, don't take it into consideration. If you do, use it however you see fit. Make your own decision. That's the way we're going to do things. But I'm not going to put my head in the sand and just go, oh, you know, as David Gonzalez put it, I'm not going to be a slave to talent and nice things. Life means more than that to me. I'm not shallow that way. Okay. Here we go with our RazoRock switch and DE orientation. Why am I going that way? I need to be going against the grip. I've already forgot what I'm doing. And I would say in this orientation, it's also mild. So we get a mild shave today. This razor, again, feels very safe to use. It feels mild even in the Shavette orientation. Even when you find that angle, pretty mild as far as I'm concerned. But I think we've actually done a pretty good job. The soap, I haven't spoke much about it. It's good soap. It's good quality. There's no question about it. I don't know where their prices will settle in. I hope it's not one of the $20 plus soaps. I'm hoping it settles in, you know, that around $15 mark. I think it would be very, very fair. It actually would be a very good price, I think. But we'll see what happens. You know, you never know. I mean, we don't know what it costs to make these. I know I've talked to Dennis, the owner, and he sort of shared his thoughts with me. Let's use the left hand. About what it costs to make soaps. And so, you know, he has to, he really has to do what is best for his business. But I hope that, you know, I'm looking for more Sterlings, you know, people who make great products, who do it in a very professional way, people who have genuine regard, seemingly, for their customers, or at least that's what we show. Look, some of us have personal relationships with vendors, and we've known them for many years, and we've broken bread and so on. We don't know everything about them. So when I'm talking about, you know, putting information in front of you, I don't know every single thing about every artisan. I'm only talking about how they act within this community. So keep that in mind. Dennis so far has been good. Been good to answer questions. He's putting out these experimental soaps, tweaking his formula, getting better as he goes, I would imagine. It's a great price. The chief from Chief Shaves actually put me onto these. And then a gentleman sent me the first one that I tried, which was, I believe, vanilla type something. I can't remember, maybe a lavender vanilla. It was very nice. I'm sorry, sir, I can't remember your name, but thank you if you're watching this. This is a good quality soap, no question. Okay. I think we are done and ready to get in to our post. Shave with the switch. Let me rinse, we'll come back, do the post, and we'll be out. Stay tuned. All right, and we are back with our Lancaster towel. And when I do my rinse, off cam, I do a warm water rinse first because it's better at removing that soap. Then I do a cool water rinse. Now, if I use alum, and I did use the PAA alum with the dry dock today, just for the heck of it. I'm still testing it, still holding up. Link below if you want it. After that, I'll do a cold water rinse as well. Okay, let's get going with our Magic Made by Witches. This is Sayers Witch Hazel, which is great stuff. Witch Hazel is really good for soothing some of that irritation. Thayer's has aloe, so it's good for your skin. That's why I use it. It's a big part of my routine. I'm not a balm guy. I use Thayer's on a splash. You know, that's just what works best for me. Speaking of splash, where's my splash? Stay tuned. All right, there's our RazoRock Irish Countryside, which is Irish Tweeds type splash. And it smells great. Face feels great. Got an excellent shave today. No nicks, cuts, creepers, weepers, irritation, bubbles, troubles. That's what we aim for every day. The RazoRock switch, which can be used in Shavette type orientation or DE with the feather blade, did a great job today. Mild I'd say the angle is finicky on this razor, so keep that in mind. We use the Spearhead shaving company. This is Tweed type. Good quality soap. Keep your eye on that website. They have some good deals on there. And we use the RazoRock Beehive, which I think I'll end up giving to Ken Klitschko. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. As always, I'm your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way. And as always, God bless.